Let me tell you something, most men never understand until it's too late. It's not the sweet words. It's the attention or the constant availability that makes her fall for you. It's the absence of need. There's a quiet, unshakable power in a man who no longer seeks love to feel whole. When you stop chasing validation and start living from a place of internal fulfillment, you shift the entire dynamic. She doesn't fall for the guy who sends good morning texts every day out of fear she'll forget him. She'll falls for the man who wakes up already grounded in his purpose, who moves through life with direction, peace, and certainty. There's a different energy to him. He doesn't beg to be seen because he already sees himself. Most men try too hard to earn a woman's love. They think if they just do enough, say the right things, show up constantly, she'll eventually choose them. But that effort reeks of desperation. Women don't want to be convinced. They want to feel something rare. And a man who is whole on his own gives off that rarity without even trying. He's not trying to prove anything. He walks into her life already knowing what he brings to the table. No performance, no pretending, just presence. That calm, masculine presence that doesn't demand attention but commands it. It's not about arrogance. It's about security. When you've done the inner work and you're no longer afraid of being alone, you stop acting out of fear. And ironically, that's what makes her lean in. It's not because you chased her, but because she can finally feel what most men can't offer. A man who would love to have her, but doesn't need her. That's the man she remembers. That's the man she falls for. She doesn't fall for the man who's always there. She falls for the man whose presence feels earned, not expected. When you make yourself constantly available, texting all the time, always answering immediately, rearranging your life just to accommodate her, you stop being a mystery and start becoming routine. And the truth is, what's always available loses its impact. Think about a TIFF. Something valuable is placed in your hands every single day. Without effort, without cost, it starts to feel ordinary. That's how many men unknowingly devalue themselves, not out of bad intentions, but from a desire to please. They think if they show her how much they care, she'll love them more. But women don't fall for constant access. They fall for presence that feels meaningful because it's rare. When you pull back not to play games, but because you're building a life, focusing on your mission, protecting your time, she starts to wonder where you are. That space you leave behind, that's where interest is born. She starts replaying your words. She starts missing the feeling you gave her. Your energy becomes something she seeks, not something she scrolls past. You don't chase. You don't over-explain. You don't wait around hoping she notices you. You let her feel your absence because you're busy becoming a man who values himself too much to be everywhere all the time. And in that space, she realizes your time isn't cheap. Your attention isn't given out of boredom. It's earned. That's when her imagination lights up. That's when she starts thinking about you at night. Because now, you're not just another guy filling up her phone. You're the man whose silence makes noise, whose absence carries more weight than another man's presence ever could. There's a kind of man. She never forgets the one who had the strength to walk away even when he loved her. Most men stay. They stay through disrespect, through emotional games, through being taken for granted. They convince themselves it's love, that patience is strength, that one day she'll change. But deep down, it's fear. Fear that they won't find better. Fear of being alone. Fear that this is the best they can get. That fear weakens a man. It turns strength into desperation. But a man who knows himself doesn't stay where his peace is constantly disturbed. He doesn't tolerate chaos in the name of connection. He doesn't beg for love at the cost of his dignity. When a woman crosses the line, when she tests him with disrespect or silence, he doesn't explode, he exits. Not to prove a point, not to manipulate, but because his standards are real. He has boundaries, not walls. And when those boundaries are violated, he doesn't stay for comfort, he leaves for clarity. That's what makes him unforgettable. Because most men will chase. Most men will tolerate. Most men will bend, but not him. He values his peace over her attention. He values his integrity over temporary pleasure. And even if she doesn't admit it, she feels something shift in her when he walks away. Respect. Real, deep respect. Because a man who walks away from what doesn't serve him is a man who walks toward something greater. He doesn't burn bridges. He doesn't beg for closure. He simply steps back and lets the silence speak for him. That silence echoes louder than words. And in time, it's not the romantic gestures she remembers, it's the moment she realized she couldn't break him. That's the man she can't forget. There's a different kind of strength in a man whose emotions don't depend on anyone else. He doesn't flinch when she pulls back, doesn't spiral when she goes quiet. He doesn't beg, plead, or try to fix something that was never his to control. That's emotional independence, and it's rare. Most men let a woman's mood control their own. If she's distant, they panic. If she's silent, they start questioning themselves. They text more. They try harder. They become anxious and reactive. But a man who is emotionally grounded doesn't do any of that. He remains centered because his peace doesn't come from her. It comes from within. That's what makes him so powerful. He's not cold. He feels deeply. But he doesn't need her to feel whole. And when she senses that, something awakens in her. Because now she's not dealing with a boy chasing love, she's facing a man who already has love for himself. He doesn't wait around for validation. He doesn't need permission to feel strong. He has built a life, a mindset, and a soul that thrives with or without her affection. And ironically, that's when she starts offering it more freely. Because he asked, but because he didn't. She begins to admire him. She sees that his confidence isn't fake. It's not a mask. It's real. It's steady. She realizes he won't be shaken by temporary moods or emotional distance. And that realization changes everything, because now she knows she can't control him. She can't manipulate him with silence or withdrawal. And in a world full of men who crumble for attention, she sees one who stands tall in solitude.
Yes.
The man she starts to chase, not because he pushed her away, but because he never needed to pull her in. The moment you let go of needing a specific outcome is the moment everything starts to shift in your favor. Most men lose themselves because they're obsessed with control over how she feels, how she responds, whether she stays, whether she loves them back. Every text becomes a test. Every silence becomes a storm. But a man who's truly grounded doesn't measure his worth by her reactions. He's detached from outcome, not because he doesn't care, but because he's already whole. He's not chasing her love to complete him. He's offering his presence from a place of abundance, not lack. That changes everything. When she senses you're not trying to mold every interaction into something romantic. When she feels you're not sitting there waiting for her validation, she starts to relax into your energy. You become unpredictably in a good way. There's no desperation in your voice, no hidden agenda in your words. You show up because you want to, not because you need to. And in that freedom, you become deeply attractive. She feels your independence. She feels your certainty. She feels that you're not making her your entire world, you are your own world. And that's what draws her in. Because now, you're not like every other man who's hoping, begging, and overthinking. You're free. You've released the fear of losing her, and that makes you magnetic. Because women don't fall for the man who clings, they fall for the man who lets go. Not carelessly, but courageously. You lead with peace, not pressure. You give her the space to choose you rather than forcing her hand. So when you stop chasing the illusion of love, real love finds its way to you. Because now, you're not seeking to be saved. You've already saved yourself.